Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I am Mayur and in today's episode we are going to discuss about risk management. Risk management is an important and a lengthy topic and hence this topic has been divided into 5 parts. In part 1 we are going to talk about what is information risk management, the IRM policy and understand the details of acceptable level of risk. So without any delay, let's begin. The hierarchy. See, when we think of risk management, we sometimes limit ourselves to the concept of information security. It is better to understand and appreciate the hierarchy than delve immediately into the risk management. Every organization sets up a governance mechanism where they put in the policy, process, and internal controls that comprise how an organization is run. A part of this governance is to identify the overall risk an organization faces. That is what is known as enterprise risk management. This comprises of all the risks, regulatory, financial, social, personnel, including information security. So information risk management is just a small subset of the overall enterprise management, and information security is the tools and practices to manage risk to information. Now, let's delve into the details of information risk management. Information risk management is the process of identifying and assessing risk and reducing it to an acceptable level and implementing the right mechanisms to maintain that level. See, there is no such thing as 100% secure organization. Every organization has vulnerabilities and threats. The skill is in identifying these threats, assessing the probability of them actually occurring and the damage they could cause, and then taking the right steps to reduce the overall level of risk in the environment to what an organization identifies as acceptable. Information security is not a one time activity, information risk management actually. Rather, it's a continuous one. It has multiple steps which we will learn about further down the line. See, most often the information risk management is an activity that is either delegated to the security professionals as it is believed that they are the owners of the information security related risks. The sad part is that this happens practically at most organizations. Information security is a business problem. Then that gets realized only after a data breach that impacts the bottom line of the business. Hence, it becomes imperative that the business owns up these risks and other functional departments can support them in mitigating these risks. An ideal IRM team consists of multiple stakeholders ranging from HR to admin to the legal. How do I know what and how to identify risks? I'm not an expert. That is a very common excuse provided by the business team. Training or for any role or any team is important. Hence, detailed trainings and discussions must be organized for this task force. Every such effort requires management support and hence buy-in from the management is extremely important. I'll repeat it again. Buy-in from the management is extremely important. Acceptable level. See, even crossing the road is a risk. Going to office is a risk. Working on the laptop for the long time is a risk. So a common question that arises is what should the IRM team to do to identify the risks? In this manner, almost every activity carries a risk with it. So each organization is different in size, security posture, threat profile, and security budget. The overall goal of the IRM team should be to ensure that the company is protected in the most cost effective manner. This goal can be accomplished if a risk acceptance level can be defined by the senior management. If that level is defined, risks above that acceptable level only need to be discussed, debated, and finally mitigated. This gives rise to another question in mind. See, a big organization can have multiple business units or projects running at the same time. If multiple task forces are created or different projects try to identify risk, against what parameters should they do so? What is the acceptable level of risk they have to follow? The IRM policy comes to the rescue of the task force. See, every organization will have its own IRM policy, which will be the subset of the enterprise risk management policy. This policy will actually define the acceptable risk levels which the teams can use, and also mention what kind of identification process of the industry standard the organization wants to follow. There can be procedures or guidelines supporting this policy to further detail out the process, but this policy will be a high level document giving an overall strategic direction to the team. It's important to understand what would be the scope of this policy and what would be the risk identification and the standard that would be followed at the organization level. All this will be a part of the IRM policy. A common mistake that professionals with experience do in exams such as CISSP or CISA is that they tend to answer the questions basis what happens in their own organization. If your organization did not have an IRM policy or did not follow any industry standard, that does not make it right. See, risk is one of the most important topics in any such certification exam. Make sure you understand the fundamentals and practice multiple questions of different types to gain expertise in this area. You can always check out my blog www.mayurpahwa.com for more such stuff. If you really like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it across. You can also check out my sample exams on SSCP and CISSP on Udemy or Simpliv if you are preparing for the same. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next video.